When Ngozi gave birth to her daughter, her mother-in-law did not celebrate. Madame Cecilia stood at the hospital doorway, looked at the baby, and said, "Another girl." Ngozi held her newborn close. Her husband, Emeka, looked away. Madame Cecilia hissed, "In this family, we need a son, not a girl who will marry away." Ngozi's eyes filled with tears, but she said nothing. She named her daughter Amara, meaning grace, but in that house, nobody treated Amara like grace. When relatives visited, they carried Emeka's nephews first. They praised boys loudly and ignored Ngozi's baby. Madame Cecilia would say, "A woman who cannot give my son a male child has failed." Ngozi swallowed the insults until they became too heavy. One evening, after another family meeting full of mockery, Madame Cecilia entered Ngozi's room and pointed at the door. "Take your daughter and go to your people. My son will marry a woman who can give this family an heir." Ngozi looked at Emeka. "Will you let her send us away?" Emeka's lips trembled, but he said nothing. So Ngozi packed one small bag, tied Amara on her back, and left. Life became hard. She rented one small room near a busy road. She sold fruits in the morning and cleaned a pharmacy at night. Amara grew up watching her mother work without complaining. Whenever people asked about her father's family, Ngozi would smile and say, "Some people reject gifts because they do not understand their value." Amara became brilliant. She loved science. She loved hospitals. She loved helping sick children. Years passed, and the rejected girl became Dr. Amara Emeka, a young pediatric surgeon with a kind heart and steady hands. One night, Ngozi's phone rang. It was Emeka. His voice was shaking. "Our son is sick." Ngozi froze. His son, the son Madame Cecilia had wanted so badly. Emeka had remarried after Ngozi left, and his new wife had given birth to a boy named Ifeanyi. "What happened?" Ngozi asked. "He needs emergency surgery," Emeka whispered. "The doctors said only one specialist is available." Ngozi already knew. Amara. Hours later, Madame Cecilia arrived at the hospital, older, weaker, and desperate. She saw Ngozi standing beside Amara in her doctor's coat. For the first time, the old woman had no insult in her mouth. She fell to her knees. "Ngozi, please. Amara, please. Save my grandson." Amara looked at her mother. Ngozi's face was calm, but old pain stood behind her eyes. Amara stepped forward. "I will help him," she said. "Not because you accepted me, but because he is a child. And children should never pay for adult cruelty." Madame Cecilia began to cry. The surgery lasted hours. Ngozi sat in the waiting room while Emeka cried quietly beside her. "I failed you," he whispered. Ngozi did not look at him. "Yes," she said. "You did." When Amara finally came out, everyone stood. "The surgery went well," she said. "He is stable." Madame Cecilia broke down. She reached for Amara's hand. "My daughter." Amara gently pulled her hand back. "Please don't call me that because you need me today." The words silenced the room. Madame Cecilia covered her face. "I was blind," she cried. "I called you useless because you were a girl. But today, you saved the boy I valued more than you." Amara looked at her with quiet strength. "I was never useless. You only measured me wrongly." Ngozi cried then, not from weakness, but from release. Weeks later, Ifeanyi recovered. Madame Cecilia called a family meeting. This time, Ngozi and Amara were invited as honored guests. In front of everyone, the old woman stood and said, "I rejected my granddaughter because she was a girl. I was wrong. A child's worth is not in gender. It is in the life God placed inside them." Then she turned to Ngozi. "I threw away a good woman." Ngozi nodded slowly. "You did." Madame Cecilia cried, "Can you forgive me?" Ngozi looked at Amara, then at the family that once mocked them. "I can release the bitterness," she said, "but trust will take time." Amara smiled softly. "That is enough for now." From that day, nobody in that family ever called a girl child useless again. And whenever Madame Cecilia saw Amara in her white coat, she remembered the lesson shame had taught her too late. The child she rejected became the hand that saved her bloodline, and the woman she sent away became the mother of the miracle she had begged for.